our structures of law and property are wholly arbitrary. There is no cosmic force that says you will live on this acre, that you have a right to stand over here. Nothing in nature says it has to be this way. And so when people opt out of the conventions of mortgages or laws or conventional ways of doing business, that disturbs us, not because they are outside the law, but because they remind us that the law itself is arbitrary, capricious, a dream we tell each other until we think it's real. This is what stands behind our discomfort with the panhandler, the avoidance of beggars, our uncertainty about protesters that occupy. Like I said, it's Lent, when Christians make a conscious effort to walk in the shoes of the carpenter and his friends. And you don't have to be a Christian to appreciate the value here. Let's remember, Jesus and his 12 disciples were homeless. They begged for every meal. They had to be taken in as strangers. And when they did they show gratitude? No, they got up in the middle of the square and started preaching, "Woe unto you." They were ingrates as well as vagrants. They violated every law of hospitality. Do we really want to be like that? And yet we know at some level we have to claim that vagrancy that's in us, that outsiderness. If you're in Fountain Street Church, you've been an outsider spiritually for a long time. You're proud of it. But I want you to claim the other outsiderness in you, the part that doesn't have privilege, that doesn't have power. I want you to remember that we're all beggars in the long run. Would any of us surrender our comforts to become squatters? I don't think so. Who of us would choose to live on the margins and the porticos of the streets? And yet that's ultimately all of our homes. We will all be rootless, homeless, and vagrants. We will all be in need of assistance. We will all need hospitality. We will all be standing in need of more than we can support ourselves. You know, most Christians think Lent is a time to deprive yourself of something tempting, chocolate, wine, movies. But the idea is not to do without, but to be alert at every moment to what you do not have. If you give up chocolate, you think about it for 40 days. If you give up wine, Easter Sunday can't come soon enough. If you give up cigarettes, you wonder, well, maybe I shouldn't go back, but you still want one, don't you? So you're thinking about it all the time. That's what I want you to do in Lent. I want you to think hard every day, because as I told the early service, my job here is to do two things: to comfort the afflicted, that's all of you, and to afflict the comfort, that's also all of you. I want to afflict your comforts, to let you know your comforts are not permanent, not real, you're not entitled to them, that there is no right to them at all. Your comforts are wholly up in the air, precarious. They're only there as long as the universe gives you quarter. And someday it won't. I want us to go through Lent holding gently the gifts of comfort we have, knowing that they can be taken away at any moment. Because if you think Fannie and Freddie are good at foreclosing on mortgages, you just try to live more than 80 or 90 years without effort. Our lease on life is very short. I want you to take this time to remember that every day Lent is about the rent that you pay to stay alive. The universe does not owe us anything. It could chase us off on a moment's notice. That's hard to think about, but we'd better do it. Get in touch with your inner vagrant, your hidden beggar, your frustrated occupier, your misfit, your outcast, your HIV positive, your non-white, your non-male, your non-privileged side. You all have it, because the poor are at our door. The outcasts are all around us. The misfits of the world are out there, and they're all messengers saying, remember, we're you too. Remember, you are us too. The question is, are we courageous enough to listen to who we really are? That's your Lenten message for the day. And if you thought this was fun, come back next week. Our closing hymn this morning is an old Southern harmony song. I'm going to look for it right here. It's number 315, This Old World. It's in a minor mode, so it won't be rousing, but it is, I think, stirring. Shall we sing it? Courage, friends. The way is often hard and the path is never clear, and Lord knows the stakes are very high. But take courage, for deep down there is another truth. We are not alone. And remember always that this day and every day is the day which the Lord has made. And no matter what is true, rejoice and be glad in it. Amen.